Hi, my name's Al Watson. I'm the editor and reporter for the North Hastings Review, a weekly newspaper that's printed in Madoc, Ontario. This paper was established in 1877, and we proudly offer each copy for 5 cents, and if you subscribe for a full year, it's $1.50. That has to be paid in advance. I invite you to listen in on a staff meeting prior to publishing our paper in June of 1943, at the height of World War II. The second episode will be 2 years later, in 1945, when the Second World War was just coming to a close. (1943). Okay, team, what are the headlines for this week? Elmer, I see that you have a photo on the drive to collect steel to make tanks for our military. A 30-foot high pile in the middle of the town square in Madoc, you say? Wow. Okay, we got to print that. Okay? We need to repeat the need to save paper. We need to print that little box where we say, to save this paper, do not throw it away. We need all the paper for the pulp that is in it. Mary, that article to encourage the volunteers, we need to run that again, okay? They're starting to run out of people here. We need to encourage those that are still working and available, old enough. They need to volunteer and get down to better. But farmers do not. Farmers are exempt in the off-season. And that bit comes from the Department of Labor. There's a notice that we'll publish in the paper, and also from the Director of National Selective Services. Those boys are needed to work in the bush and in the sawmills. So we'll run that little blurb again this week. Who can cover the story on rationing? This is a major one too. We need to emphasize that the main distillers, Hiram Walker and Seagram's, they're already converting all of their distilling over to the production of alcohol. Now this alcohol is being used as a fuel to propel the torpedoes. So all that alcohol is really needed. Consequently, alcohol is rationed. We also need to emphasize that there is a world shortage of sugar. And so the sugar is, the little notice of sugar rationing is to be repeated again this week. Butter is on the list, and meat. Now the meat is down to 3 pounds per family per week. So we need to let people know about that. And then there's the booze. 1 bottle per family per week. That's the ration right now. So that all has to appear in the little ad. Mary, if you can just take care of that. We also need to list where they can get the coupons for the rations so that they can each get their sugar ration and their butter ration. Oh yeah, there's a really good story we got to follow up on. There's a guy in Napanee who tried to get a second beer card to get his beer ration, and he tried to be a little fancy, but they caught him. His fine was a massive $317.50. So that should warn off people from trying to scam a second beer card. Remember, we need to include also in there that note, and I think we had it before, we'll repeat it again, to ask people to fight inflation. We've got to keep the Canadian dollar value high, and that means protecting the Canadian dollar by only buying what you absolutely need. That little ad emphasizes that. On a lighter note, Mary, you know that we've had great response from that full page of comics that we've been running each week, so we'll continue to run a full page of comic strips in each issue. the folks really love that. We have now jumped ahead 2 years to July of 1945. At this point, the war is nearing an end. The big news that we are going to publish this week, we need to get some more of those pictures of the big guns. Those are now gone. The big gun factories are now converting over to making refrigerators, so everybody will be very happy about that. But on the sad note, there will be no new cars available at least until the end of this year. Page 2, where we need to get a headline to remind them again that the sugar ration is still on. But underneath it, I want to put a note that the alcohol ration is going to be going up in September. So the bad news and the good news, okay? We got to get a bit of politics. We're going to put this on page 1, Mary, okay? This is a meeting between President Truman and King George. It's going to take place on a battleship just off the coast in the Atlantic, and this is it's notable because this is the first time these two have met since the end of World War I, so that makes it newsworthy. We'll put that on page 1. Hey Elmer, check this out. You're going to love this. In the UK, the Brits have built the first electric car, all-electric car. It's faster and it's cheaper than gas, and I'm sure that this is really going to catch on. We're going to see these everywhere, probably starting in 1946. Here's a beauty headline. Notice to landlords. We're going to put the big print, okay, Mary? Cannot evict any well-behaved tenant just so they can raise the rent for the soldiers who are coming home from the war. So, big headline on that one. And also we got to put underneath that print the notice that they've passed a law now that no one can move to Victoria, Vancouver, New Westminster, Winnipeg, Hamilton, Toronto, Ottawa, or Hull without a permit. I don't know why anybody would want to leave Madoc and go to any of those places, but they'd need a permit if they decided they wanted to do that. Mary, keep that comic page coming. They're really some fun stuff now, a little less on the war, but some of those comics now are coming in, more family stuff. And also the notice from the Madoc Theatre. They're running Abbott and Costello, Charlie Chaplin, Mickey Rooney, and they can get all of this for 15 cents. So that ad is making us money too. We got a bit of space on page 7. We'll put in an announcement because Ottawa has now decided that they're going to give us a holiday for the first time. August 6, 1945, civic holiday weekend. That Monday is a national holiday. So we got to run that, but I think page 7 will do for that. So that's it for this week, team. Let's hit the press, get it out on Thursday. We got to make it good because 5 cents does not come easily. So go, go, go.